Consideration and possible action of the fiscal year 2022-23 budget.
Good evening, everyone. We've included a worksheet in an Excel format for you this year. Not too much is going to be changing. Our sales tax is probably going to be about the same as it was this year. At least that's what we're estimating cautiously. It could increase like it did last year, and you're overflowing in revenues, which is always a much better thing than to overestimate and have to make up money from somewhere else. At the time that we did this worksheet, your revenues for interest rates were cautiously expectant to be 5,000. Interest rates have been ticking up lately, and we're getting much better returns on our investments. So that number will probably be a little bit bigger next year, which, as I said, is always a good thing to have more revenues. And then we have a transfer in from the fund balance in case there are any large projects that need to be covered, so that we don't have to go out and do budget amendments at the time and wait for city council to approve those and bring those back to us. So in the expense line items, you can see we have $500,000 slated for the MEDC projects. On your expense lines, the amount that you were paying back to the city of Manvel for the 2014 bonds, I believe they were, expired last December, so that's not a payment that you're going to be making anymore. The only thing you have are the standard expenses that you're probably having year over year, not too much change. We went ahead and added a line for just other expenses, which is kind of a catch-all because of the last meeting that we had where we were trying to figure out how we could pay for the dues and subscriptions. This kind of catches things that we haven't thought of or foreseen yet, so if something does come up this year, you've got that bucket that you can drop it in now. And once again, you're having the 90% of your sales tax revenues are being set aside for the city. That's what goes into that $1.08 million municipal complex line item. You're not actually going to spend that money probably. It's just probably going to drop down into the fund balance, but we have to have a way of saying this is how we're holding the money. If you have any questions or concerns about this, I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, this will probably go to City Council on the August 1st when we present the entire budget for proposed budget for consideration.
Any questions? No? Does it have to be approved?
So in your motion, if y'all are good with what's been proposed, the motion will be to approve your budget and forward it with recommendation to the city council. And then like Chris explained, it'll end up in the council budget under the MEDC line item. And then when city council adopts the city budget, the ordinance has verbiage in there where they're adopting the city budget plus the EDC budget in there as well. So then if we have to amend the EDC budget, it doesn't actually amend the whole everything, just that piece of the budget.
Can I get a motion?
Yeah.
No, I was asking them. Can I get a motion?
So I make a motion that the budget be forwarded to City Council with recommendation for approval.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Isn't that what
What did
his
he say?
motion just was?
Sure. So I make the motion that the budget be forwarded to council for recommendation and approval by City Council.
Approval and recommendation.
Thank you. For approval and recommendation to council.
Second.
Larry?
For the vote?
For the vote, Larry? Yes. Lorraine? Yes. Okay,
Yes.
yes. Okay. Thank you for that. Consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be routine by the MEDC and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless an MEDC member requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in sequence on the agenda.
motion to remove something from the consent, we can do that. Or once you have a chance to review it, you guys can decide if you want to make a motion in a second to approve it.
That was the last 2 months. Wow. We haven't met in a minute. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion, we, approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Now we vote. Larry?
Yes.
Lorraine?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's pretty much. That's it. And, no, go ahead.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
I second that.
I thought you had something to say, that's why I said, okay, go ahead. All right.
And vote.
And the vote?
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor? Aye. That was the easiest. I'm gonna try to run the Bible study. Oh, do I